The Detroit Lions are coming off a loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this second preseason game, and a lot of fan base is trying to trickle back to the SOL days, and I'm here to tell you there's no need to do that because it's just practice. We talking about preseason, and it's not a big deal. The preseason is to evaluate talent. That is what Dan Campbell said. Let me remind all Lions fans, we went 4-0 in 2008's preseason, and well, you know what happened after that. But we're going to look at Pride of Detroit, and we have 4 fallers and 5 risers in the Detroit Lions preseason game. Stock up, Stephen Gilmore, cornerback. I agree with this. Stephen Gilmore, the younger brother, I don't want to say little brother, of Stephon Gilmore, played very well. Now, he did get toasted just a wee bit, but it's not how you start, right? It's how you finish. He came back and made a play. Tracy Walker tipped the ball, should have had an interception, but then he comes to clean it up. So I agree with this, with Pride of Detroit's assessment, that this is somebody we have stock up. It seems to be pretty certain that Jerry Jacobs is going to be, as of this moment, the number 2. I don't think he's been out there at all, and it seems to be a pattern. If you're going to be a starter, you're not going to be in the game. So keep an eye on that as we go forward. Now move up, stock up, James Houston, the 4th linebacker. I know what y'all going to say, okay? I don't not like James Houston. I just think that there's more that he could be doing. So I will agree that his stock was up. Now, from what I saw, he missed several tackles, but he made them as well, right? So I'm not going to hold James Houston. I know y'all I heard it in the comment section, trust me, about how ridiculous it sounds that I said James Houston would have a hard time making the team. That's because the talent would be so high, we would have to find a place. He is a special teamer, and that will secure him a place on this roster. But I do think that he makes the team. I never said he wouldn't. I said it would be a hard time making the team simply because of the talent that we have on the roster. Stock down, Brad Cecil, guard. I think this goes without saying. The offensive line, anyone on the offensive line, him, Bobby Hart, their stock went way down because everyone on the offensive line, goes without saying, stock down. Stock up, Chase Cota, wide receiver, 100%. Now, it seems like a lot of y'all got touchy when I compared him to Tom Kennedy. I don't know what I have to say as far as the comparison. I watch this team every day. I talk about this team every day. And the comparison to Tom Kennedy simply is that he's reliable. He does everything right. Those are from Dan Campbell words. Those are his words. So I know Tom Kennedy's under 6 feet. Chase Cota is 6'4". Both of them are not that fast, but they're reliable. And that's where the Tom Kennedy comparison comes in. He just make plays. And I think that that's 100% that the stock up is Chase Cota. Right now, he is wide receiver number 5. And if he has a really good preseason and really good start to the season, he could be number 6 when Jamison Williams comes back. Stock up, Tracy Walker. Tracy Walker is kind of, in my opinion, on the outside looking in. He is, and I told you, Aaron Glenn talked about in practice, don't look at as far as like what team the players are taking reps with, because we're looking into things. But I think that if you do not play in the preseason, take away a couple snaps, Jahmyr Gibbs. But if we don't see you for most of the game or most of the preseason, like we might not see Jahmyr Gibbs again, I think that you're going to be a starter. So I agree with that as well, Tracy, coming off that injury. Now we got 2. We'll do 2 in a row here since it's on the same page. We have 2 of these guys. Stock down, Teddy Bridgewater, and stock up, Starling Thomas, quarterback. Can we really say Teddy Bridgewater's stock is down? The dude was in town for 1 week. And in my opinion, he looked better than Nate Sudfeld. I don't know if I'm just extra picky or y'all extra picky. Like, what did you expect from him with no offensive line? And he's been in town a week. Nate Sudfeld has been here for 2 years. So 100%, I disagree with this. Stock down. The dude had no offensive line and also was here for a week, so I can cut him some slack. Stock up, Starling Thomas. I agree with that 100%. He is playing for a roster spot, maybe to back up. I think it's going to come down to him and Gilmore. It's really going to come down to that last preseason game. Expect him to get a half or he be on one side and Gilmore be on the other. Stock down. 100% agree with this. Jason Cabinda, fullback. I personally do not believe that we need a fullback on this roster. I know some of you guys are very excited about a fullback, but the days of like the hard power running, they don't really exist anymore. Fullback, Mike Allstott, like those, Lorenzo Neal from the San Diego Chargers, those days don't really exist. Those days are gone. And Cabinda is not making a good case for himself. You got to be able to catch the ball. You got to be able to make some plays. I believe that Cabinda plays special teams, and that's always a way. The way to Dan Campbell's heart is special teams. If you are an asset on special teams, you will be on this roster. So to me, that's how Jason Cabinda solidifies himself on the roster. I could live without him, but that's just me. I know a lot of y'all out there love the fullback, and he's not that big. I'm trying to think of how many packages we had him out there. And when he's called upon, you got to catch the ball. You have to do that. So for the most part, I do agree with Pride of Detroit's list. The only thing I disagree with is the Teddy Bridgewater assessment. I don't think that's fair at all. Teddy's been here for Nate Sudfeld. You had no offensive line. You've been here for a week. How can your stock be down? He should be neutral at the very, not going into game 3. It all starts with the offensive line. If they're playing the same way and he's running for his life, we got to keep him neutral. That's just my opinion. That's probably the only one I disagree with on this whole thing. And I think, to me, just my personal opinion, listen, I don't have a grudge or anything about James Houston. Like, James Houston stole the show. Malcolm Rodriguez started the season stealing the show. He ended the season stealing the show. I just think that there's more he needs to work on. And for me, he made some plays, but he missed some too. So for me, James Houston would be neutral, and I would put Teddy Bridgewater as neutral as well. But again, I don't have any problems with James Houston. That's just my opinion. I think that there's some work that he needs to do. But again, I'm just a dude sitting in my basement talking about his favorite team. So don't forget about the live stream watch party that is happening September 17th. You can scan this QR code or get the link in the description. Tickets are $15, man. Pizza buffet, drink specials. We're going to have a good time watching the Detroit Lions host the home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe we can get some revenge on next week on last year. And we are about 5 subscribers away from 12.6 thousand. We've already hit 12.5 to start the season. So everything after this is a surplus and just adding more to the cake, man. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I'll say this. It's just the preseason, so we got to relax. Except if you're talking about Nate Sudfeld.